Welcome back, guys. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and if you haven't hit that like button, please hit the like button too. We need all the support we can get. And today's video is going to be completely different. We're not going to do any challenges or cooking or anything like that. We're going to try out story time. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell scary stories. We're going to start it off, you know, not too scary at first, and if you guys really like this and you want to see more, maybe, you know, there'll be a part 2 and we'll go from there, see how we feel things. So in honor of story time and spookiness, I'm wearing a ghost. So all right, so let's see how it goes. So these are all stories that some have gone online, like from back in the day, or like just stories that I've heard and has been like carried down, you know, like, you know how it is that you're in school and then your friends are like, oh, did you hear this story? Or you have a sleepover and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, under the bed. So whatever. Okay, so this story is called, what's it called? This story is called I Am Cold, and it's one of my kids' favorite, so I'm gonna share it with you guys. All right, so there's this young man. The story starts as a young man, you know, like around his 20s, maybe 25. He moves into his first home and he's super excited. You know, he's a single guy and he moves in with his, you know, his boxes, his dog and stuff, and he's unpacking. You know, the moving trucks are, you know, coming in and stuff. You know, you could picture it all and whatever. And as the moving trucks actually leave and he's already settling down and just opening up boxes in his house, you know, out of nowhere he hears a little knock, you know, like a, and the guy's like, what is that, you know? And then he's like, what? That's kind of weird, you know, because it was like not like a firm knock, like an adult knock. So he goes and investigates, and as he opens the door, he sees a little girl, maybe like around the age of 5 or 6, and she has this cute little bathing suit on and she's soaked in wet. And the little girl just looks at him and says, I am so cold, can you give me a towel, please? And the guy looks around, you know, to see if he sees anybody else around, because he lives like in a residential area. He's like, where did this little girl come from? But he's new to the neighborhood, so he doesn't know the little girl or anything, so he just quickly goes inside and grabs the towel and just gives it to her. And once the little girl returns back the towel, and then he grabs it from her and he turns you know, to the side to lay it down to talk to the little girl. When he turns back, the little girl's gone. So he looks like, you know, where did you go? You know, the little girl's gone. So whatever, he didn't put any mind to it. The next day came around and again a little knock. So he quickly runs to the door thinking like, what is this? Could this be the little girl again? Because this time I'm ready. So he goes to the door, but no, it's his neighbor. You know, it's one of those welcoming neighbors. And then she had like, you know, a little like pie or whatever, and she's like, oh, you know, welcome to the neighborhood, you know, I'm so glad that you're here and stuff, or you live alone, you know, one of those nosy neighbors. And then the guy's like, well, yeah, you know, I just moved here and stuff, and, you know, trying to settle in. And then she's like, oh, you know, we really want to welcome you, so why don't you join me and my family to eat dinner tonight? And, you know, he's like, sure, you know, why not? I would love to. So, you know, they greeted each other goodbye, and then he walks back into the living room to his house, you know, and closes the door. And then before he even he's about to lay down the dish, a knock at the door. So he thinks it's the neighbor again, so he just runs back and he's like, no, the neighbor might have some more goodies. So he opens the door, and it's a little girl again with a blue bathing suit, same bathing suit, not just another blue bathing suit, same bathing suit, soaked and wet. Her hair is just dripping wet. And she says to him, sir, I am so cold. And the guy is like, let me get you a towel. So he runs and gets a towel, gives her the towel. Before he looks down, you know, waiting for the little girl to dry up, and then right when he's about to say something, the little girl's gone. and all he sees is a towel on the ground. So now he's kind of spooked because that's not normal. So he grabs the towel, he takes it back inside, and he is just thinking, what in the world did I just experience? So it gets later in the evening. He starts to get ready for dinner at the neighbor's house. So he goes up to the neighbor's house and he starts eating dinner and stuff. And you know, the dinner was fabulous, and he was, you know, courteous and sweet, well-mannered, the gentleman, and to his neighbors and stuff. And he's like, thank you so much for this food. Oh my God, I feel completely welcomed here. You know, I'm glad to have good neighbors like you guys. So as the owners are cleaning up, you know, the dinner, and he's in the living room now waiting for the owners to come in so they could chit chat, because he's not just gonna eat and leave. So he sees pictures, and he sees a little girl. He sees the little girl in the picture, and he's like, oh my gosh, that is the little girl that knocks on my door every day. So he's gonna wait. He's just waiting there. The lady comes, and then he, super polite, the guy, you know, he goes, hey, you know, that little girl in the picture, you know that she's been coming to my house like the past few days, you know, asking for towels? Is everything okay? Like, you know? And the lady turned pale white. And she goes, you must be mistaken, sir, because that's my daughter, and she has passed away 5 years ago. The gentleman was like he didn't even know what to do with himself, because he knew that he felt uncomfortable with the whole situation. So he's just like, wow, it must be a different little girl then. And she goes, yeah, no, my daughter died 5 years ago and she drowned. And when he heard that, he was just in shock, because he's thinking this has to be the same girl. It has to be, because she's soaked in wet coming to my door. So he's kind of terrified right now. So he goes back to his house the next day, knock at the door, boom, 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 boom. And the guy's like, oh my God. So he goes to the door and he opens the door, and it's the little girl soaked in wet. Sir, can you please give me a towel? And the guy's like, listen, do you live over there? And he pointed at the house. And the little girl just repeated, I am cold, sir. Please give me a towel. And then the guy's like, were you at the pool? And the little girl said, sir, please give me a towel. And then the guy's like, are you the little girl that drowned and died 5 years ago? And the little girl said, yes! So spooky! That's a crazy story. And usually a bunch of the kids would run away right now. But yeah, that is intense. I have no idea if that's a real story. I heard that story way back. I want to say like in elementary school. I was like a 5th grader. And I'm going to tell you, oh my God, crazy. This was a time frame where you I don't know if any of you guys like in 5th grade elementary school ever played, you know, the Bloody Mary mirror thing. Well, all the girls used to do that in the bathroom, and we're like, oh my God, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, and we were like all spooked out and we ran away. Well, we used to tell scary stories too in the bathroom sometimes, and that was the popular one. And yes, I used to tell that to my kids, and to this day they love it, and they even share it with their friends too. So you guys are more than welcome to share that story. Now, I have other stories. I think I have like 2 more stories that I could share with you. Let me see. So the next story is called Hide and Seek. This story takes place in an apartment building with 2 little boys. Their parents needed to go to the neighbor's house to spend some time over there. So they left. I think the kid, the oldest brother, was probably like 12 or 13 years old, in charge of the little one, which was around 8 years old. So the older brother was there, and the little boy, and the parents were like, hey, you guys, behave, don't do nothing, you know, like don't really need us, if something is occurring, we're just gonna be like down the hall at the neighbor's house if you need us. Okay? So then the oldest boy was like, yeah, Mom, don't worry, we got this, we're gonna be fine. So the parents leave, and the boys got kind of bored. So then the oldest brother was like, well, you want to play a game? And the little boy's like, yeah, I want to play hide and seek. The older boy's like, okay, that's fine, let's do that for a little bit. So what happened is the oldest said, okay, so I'm gonna let you hide. And then the oldest boy started counting. So he closed his eyes and he started counting 1, 2, 3. As he was counting up, he started hearing the footsteps of the kid like running around trying to find a spot. So he was trying to listen closely to see which direction in the apartment building, because the apartment building is not, well, the apartment itself, they weren't playing the whole building, they were just in their apartment. It wasn't that big, so there's only a few places that the kid could hide. So what happened is that so the little boy started counting all the way to 20, and he goes, okay, here I come. And he started looking. So he looked in the, the regular places. He started looking under the bed, nothing. Started looking behind the shower curtain, nothing. Looked behind the door, nothing. Looked in the closets, nothing. Looked in the kitchen area, nothing. Looked under the tables, nothing. He even looked in the little laundry closet, nothing. So he said, well, maybe he's in the cabinets, you never know, because the kid was kind of slim, the little brother. So he looked in the cabinets, nothing. But then he hears a giggle in one of the closets, one of the bedroom closets. And the older boy's like, and his mind was like, I know I looked at that closet, but it's okay, because he was like, maybe he shifted, while I was looking and making kind of noises. So he goes to the closet and he looks first, towards the bottom of the closet. He's pushing the clothes to see if he sees anything by the feet area. Nothing. So he starts raising up his hands, searching through the clothes to see if he's like back there, maybe standing on a box. Nothing. So he starts putting his hand higher up. You know how there's shelves, trying to see if he feels something up there. And out of nowhere, he feels something cold, and he starts trying to reach it, and then out of nowhere, something grabs him. And then he thinks it's his brother, so he grabs him back. So now they're like, kind of like that, but like, in the closet, and he's there like tugging. And then the little brother is kind of strong, in his mind. He's like, man, he has a good grip on me. And the kid, the 13-year-old, was kind of like lifting up a bit, and he's kind of getting kind of worried. But then he's in the corner of his eye, he sees his little brother standing on the other side. As he's lifting up, then now he starts panicking, and now he's getting pulled up, and the little boy, his younger brother, runs to him and grabs him by his feet and starts pulling him down, trying to save his older brother. And then one thing led to another. He pulls him, and then they all fall. The hand releases him. The two boys were completely freaked out. They ran out straight to where the parents were. And to this day, they have no clue what grabbed them. What could have been? What could have done that? What would have happened if he got pulled up? That's what they kept on thinking. They'll never know. This story is called The Clown Statue. So this family calls in a babysitter. The babysitter shows up to the house, taking care of a group of kids. I think they had like 3 children. The couple, they're leaving, they needed the babysitter, collects like a lot of artifacts and stuff, very fancy things. So she told the parents told the babysitter, hey, once you put the kids to sleep at 8 o'clock, I need you to go into the basement and watch TV in the basement. I do not want you in the house, in the living room, in the first floor or the second floor where the kids are going to be at. I don't want you in there. So the babysitter didn't think much of it because they, like I said, a lot of their stuff in that house is like very fancy. So the couple leaves to like their concert, their date, and she plays with the kids, and then right when it's getting close to bedtime, she puts them in, she tucks them in, she tucks the kids into the bed, and sorry, I got distracted. So she puts the kids into bed, and she then proceeds to go into the basement. So in the basement, she starts watching TV, but she notices that in the corner, there's like a 6 foot, like around it, like 6'2", like real tall clown. A statue of a clown, like it's all standing up, you know? And it's really creeping her out because as she's watching TV, all she sees in that corner, because she's watching TV like this, and in that corner right there is the clown. So it's not like she could just like totally ignore it. So she finally decides to put like a bed cover or something over the clown. So she found sheets and she covered the clown. She managed to cover him up. She sits back down and watches some TV. That clown is still creeping her out. So she finds other sheets and tries to cover up his shoes, because his shoes, how it's so tall, you can still see his shoes. So she tried to cover it up with the sheets. She sits back down, but now it's creeping her out even more because now it's a clown under sheets. So she decides to give a call to the parents. She calls the parents and tells the parents, you know, there's a creepy clown in the corner. I really want to go to the living room and watch TV there because this basement is just creeping me out. The father was the one that was on the line, and goes, wait a minute, what did you say is in the basement? She goes, a clown. A clown is in the corner. And then he said, listen to me carefully. The kids have been complaining about seeing a clown in their closets once in a while. I'm telling you right now, I thought that was their imagination. You need to get out of the house. I will be calling the cops immediately. One thing led to another. The babysitter and the kids have vanished, never seen again. Now that story's creepy too. It's kind of sad. I don't know if it's real. I really hope it's not, because that is so creepy. Oh, you guys, I think that is good enough. I gave you 2 good ones. One that is like for the little kids, so they don't get too spooked. But if you really enjoy story time, like of scary stories, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll give you more. I got more. Alrighty, thank you so much for all your support. Until next time, bye.